Hi, we're from the New York Review. Are you Dougal Seep?
You two are nothing if not persistent. New York Review my eye.
Huh?
I know why you're here, although apparently you do not.
What are you talking about?
Frank and Joe Hardy. You both attend Bayport High School. You both take after your rather gifted father when it comes to finding yourselves in and getting yourselves out of trouble. You have been led here by the well-intentioned but mistaken grace of the Bayport Police Department, have you not?
Well, we'd like to think we led ourselves here.
Of course, I'm not trying to take anything away from your detecting prowess. In fact, I should have said you've been misled here by the Bayport PD. If left to your own devices, you would likely have stayed on the correct trail. I assume you have some questions to ask.
If you have answers.
I have answers, although they aren't likely to be ones you expect.
You stole the contents of Samuel Spencer's safe, didn't you?
No, I didn't. There may indeed be criminal tendencies in my blood, but robbery is a little tawdry, don't you think?
A thief is a thief, no matter what his methods are.
Well, that's true enough. However, I never said I was a thief. In fact, the only time I ever broke the law, and as a result ended up in the unforgiving sights of the Bayport Police, was over 20 years ago. I shan't go into it, but in my defense, I was little more than a boy. My tastes have since matured somewhat.
What do you mean? Criminal tendencies are in your blood?
It means whatever you suppose it means.
That's not really a helpful answer.
Then you aren't interpreting it correctly.
We have quite a bit of evidence linking you to the crime scene.
Oh, really? Like what?
You and the criminal share an extremely rare blood type.
Ah, yes. AB negative. One would have to be a little less than astute if they, knowing they had a rare blood type, committed a crime where they might leave that evidence behind. On the other hand, they might be so strongly motivated by hatred or need that they ignore the risk. In either case, you're dealing with someone more dangerous than the casual thief. I might advise you to be careful in your investigations.
Is that a threat?
I've been told that I have a threatening demeanor, and I suppose I've used it to my advantage in the past, but let me assure you that I am in all actuality concerned for your well-being.
We have a hair sample from the scene. It matches yours.
I very much doubt that. A sample of hair from the actual scene of the crime?
Well, from a room where the thief was hiding.
Well, that's different, isn't it? After all, you haven't yet asked me if I visited the beautiful and historic Spencer Mansion recently, have you?
Oh, well, have you? Visited Spencer Mansion recently, that is?
Yes.
Aha!
Quite. I was there just 2 days ago.
You got your hair cut.
Yes, although I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Why were you at Spencer Mansion?
My reasons are my own.
The police might not agree.
I don't think we need to get them involved quite yet.
I think we do. Does your cell phone have a signal?
No.
Why am I not surprised?
This all seems nefarious, I'm sure, but I am not here to threaten you with villainous overtures. I am in all truth on your side in this sad affair, but I do have a conflict of interest which prevents me from being too helpful.
What's that?
I think perhaps you may be able to figure that out on your own. I will, however, point you back in the right direction. The man you look for is Richard Llewellyn. He is in his 30s, has some unbecoming tattoos, and a chip on his shoulder. The last I heard from him, he was holding up at the Crescent Theater with an old high school friend of his. It isn't far from here, although I must caution you. A rat, when cornered, will fight viciously.
Now wait just a minute. Your hair is found near the crime scene. Your blood type is linked to the scene. You admit to being at the scene of the crime just a few days ago. How do we know you aren't sending us off on a wild goose chase while you pack up and leave town?
You don't. But you don't really have much choice in the matter, do you?
That's not very reassuring.
Joe, we can't just leave this guy here.
Well, we can arrest him.
You could wait here with him while I go get the...
Boys, I appreciate the nuance of this discourse, but I'm afraid a blunter instrument is required.
Uh-oh, Joe. Think he's gonna attack us with a hammer.
Charming. No attacks. But you should bear in mind that if I were the culprit you were looking for, it would not be difficult to detain you here while I made my escape. As things stand, however, I am merely trying to aid you boys without betraying my other interests. Here, I have something for you. It's about time.
Pardon?
It's about time.
No disrespect intended, but
It will eventually. This whole affair is bigger than you imagine. It is a play, and you are only seeing the last act. It can't possibly make sense until someone fills you in on what happened before you arrived. Now, you should go. The Crescent awaits.
Okay.
I don't like this, Joe.
I don't like it much either. But like he says, we really don't have much choice.
All right, we'll check out this Crescent place, but if we find out you're lying, we'll return with the full weight of the law on our side.
I would expect nothing less. Good luck, boys.